gather now in the encroaching shadows. Tonight, we delve into the heart of fear itself. We will explore 5 distinct tales, each a key unlocking a different door into the abyss. Our purpose is not merely to recount events, but to feel the chilling breath of these narratives upon our necks. We seek to understand the mechanisms of dread they employ. Our first descent takes us into a place where reality frays. This is the tale known only by the shivers it leaves behind. It begins subtly, a creeping unease settling over the protagonist like grave dust. Then comes the first undeniable sign, a violation of the natural order that chills to the bone. The horror escalates, twisting the familiar into something monstrous and alien. The primary source of terror here is the insidious doubt, the loss of certainty in one's own senses and surroundings. It is the fear that the world is fundamentally wrong. Next, we confront something ancient and hungry. This story speaks of things that predate humanity, stirring in forgotten places. The initial setup lulls you into a false sense of security, a quiet before the storm of cosmic dread. A discovery is made, something that should have remained buried, unleashing forces beyond comprehension. The consequences unfold with terrifying inevitability, a slow, crushing realization of insignificance. The horror emanates from the sheer, indifferent power of the unknown, the vast, uncaring void, and the entities that dwell within it. Our third tale is a more intimate kind of terror, one that preys on the bonds we hold dear. It whispers of betrayal and the darkness within the human heart. It starts with a seemingly normal situation, perhaps a family or close friends facing a challenge. Cracks begin to show, revealing unsettling truths or hidden cruelties among them. The situation devolves into a nightmare of psychological manipulation and horrifying actions. The true source of fear here is the monster that wears a human face, the capacity for evil residing within those we trust the most. Now, we step into a place where the past refuses to die. This story is haunted, not just by ghosts, but by the weight of history and unresolved suffering. The setting itself feels heavy, burdened by a history of pain or violence. Echoes of past events begin to manifest, subtle at first, then undeniably terrifying. The characters become entangled with the spectral residue, facing the same fate or becoming victims of the lingering malice. The horror is rooted in the inescapable nature of trauma, the idea that suffering leaves an indelible stain on places and people, forever bound to repeat itself. Finally, we face a horror that is relentless and physical. This story is a visceral assault, a fight for survival against a tangible, terrifying threat. It begins with an encounter, perhaps accidental, with the source of the danger. The threat pursues with single-minded intensity, leaving no room for escape or respite. The struggle becomes desperate, pushing the characters to their absolute limits against overwhelming odds. The primary fear here is the primal terror of being hunted, the vulnerability of the body, and the brutal reality of facing a predator that cannot be reasoned with or stopped. Looking back across these 5 windows into fear, certain patterns emerge from the darkness. A recurring theme is the fragility of reality itself, the thin veil separating our world from something deeply unsettling or hostile. Another motif is the idea of inescapable consequence, that certain actions or discoveries lead down a path from which there is no return. Taken together, these stories leave a lingering chill, a sense that the world is far more dangerous and unknowable than we care to admit. They remind us that fear comes in many forms, and some shadows, once seen, can never be unseen.